Hello, and welcome to the SolidCAM Introduction series of training videos. The topic for discussion is HSS Full. HSS Full is a continuing conversation from a previous video called HSS Express. HSS toolpaths are advanced 3D toolpaths typically used for finish strategies. These, however, can be adapted in certain roughing style scenarios. Let's go through some of those situations now. As a review, I've included two toolpaths that we discussed in the HSS Express video, linear and constant Z. When I show the selected surfaces for machining, it's important to understand that HSS toolpaths allow you to selectively choose the surfaces for machining. This could be for any particular reason that you might have. It could be for areas of detail or perhaps for areas of repair. With that being mentioned, it's important to understand that you can account for additional collision or gouge detection and avoidance areas as well. Roughing strategies can be enabled. In all HSS toolpaths, collision detection is independently and selectively controlled, just as the selectability for the machining surfaces. So in this case, I selected that grouping of surfaces there for this particular operation. So a linear toolpath, as you remember, cuts back and forth apart at the vector that you described. So in this case here, we can describe the vector either with lines or by just defining an angle. So in this case, 0 degrees, it's running back and forth along the x-axis. To change the vector, just change the value of the angle and recalculate that toolpath, and the toolpath will recalculate. HSS linear and HSS linear constant Z. Constant Z toolpaths work very much like linear toolpaths, but in the Z-axis, typically used in the steeper areas of the component. So here are the surfaces that I chose for this particular operation. Also, just to point out, the gouge check is independently controlled. So in this case here, I've got my gouge check turned on, both cutting against the surfaces I selected, as well as additional check surfaces. Check surfaces can be captured in this case by using the entire model. So that toolpath is just cutting the areas that I chose, sliced at the particular Z level, and then cutting around those surfaces at those levels. HSS Full is going to give you a new grouping of toolpaths. You're going to get parallel to curves, parallel to surface, perpendicular to curve, morph between two boundary curves, and morph between two adjacent surfaces, as well as some additional projection style routines. Let's talk about parallel to curves. The toolpath on the screen is a parallel to curve. In here, I selected my drive surfaces. To see those drive surfaces, I will show them, and it's the entire upper boundary of that radius portion of this model. The toolpath is going to stay parallel to the curve that you define. So in this case, I defined a user-defined curve, and we'll take a look at it, what it looks like here. So I grabbed the upper edge of that fillet. Interesting thing to note about this part, however, is that the tool, the part here is a little bit narrower than it is a little bit wider over here in this area. So the toolpath is trying to stay parallel to the curve described. But where the toolpath needs to become wider because the part is wider in this region, it's retracting to a safety distance, repositioning, and then replunging and engaging the material while still maintaining parallelness to that curve that I described. Again, all of your toolpaths are independently controlled. The selectability of the surfaces machining, the gouge checking, all of that is taken into play. So in this case here, I'm cutting at a maximum step over of 40,000 so we can see the toolpath a little bit easier on the screen. And the toolpath is always staying parallel to that curve that's defined. Perpendicular to curve is the exact 90-degree version of that toolpath. So if we were to show this toolpath on the screen, it's the same selected surfaces, the same curve that was used and defined it, but this time the toolpath is staying normal to the curve at all times. Again, you're dealing with a maximum step over, and again, the surface and the curve that you're staying normal to in this case instead of parallel to. Parallel to surface works just like parallel to curve, with the difference as being instead of picking a curve to describe what to stay parallel to, you're going to be picking an adjacent surface to say parallel to. Morph between two boundary curves. The morph between two boundary curves is a very powerful toolpath that will allow the toolpath to adapt and stay parallel to the curve on one side of the group of surfaces selected for machining, as well as staying parallel to the other side of the surfaces for machining. While it's working its way across those surfaces, it's going to adjust or morph the step over to maintain parallelness across the board. So you kind of get a blend result in the middle, but what you end up with is a toolpath that stays in contact with the surfaces at all time, and it's parallel at the top side, and it will be parallel at the end side as well. With HSS toolpaths, the sorting control, you can control, in this case, I have my sorting set to one way. And if we were to look at the toolpath, what we're going to see is a witness mark coming down the part where we're maintaining a, in this case, climb direction of cut. So it's maintaining a direction of travel as it's traversing the parts. You can control this. If I were to change this to zigzag, zigzag will give me a bidirectional cut. I'm still going to end up with a witness line, but it'll be climb milling and conventional milling across the part. With this, you have the ability to control your own start point. So if I wanted to move my start point to maybe a better location or region, maybe somewhere up in here, I can move my start points to a specific location. In this case, I'm just going to pick this point right here and select that in to my toolpath. And we'll just pick that point right there. When I recalculate, we'll see that it moves the start point from the area that it was at to the area that I chose. Going back from my sort type from zigzag, I'm going to convert this to spiral as well. This will give me a continuous spiral toolpath that will never stop transitioning while it's moving across the part. One lead in to the beginning of the cut, one lead out at the end of the cut with no witness line. Again, morph between two curves is a very powerful toolpath that can be used in a lot of different areas for a lot of different reasons. All of these toolpaths can be converted into doing additional things. I can instigate multiple passes, perhaps depth cuts. I can have it be cognizant to a stock model. So I can, if I didn't want to have to create complicated boundaries or areas where there might have been extra areas of material, I could tell it to be aware of the stock definition of how the part currently is, what state it's currently in. Morph between two curves. Very nice toolpath. We give you the ability to do various types of projection style routines as well. The first one would be radial projection. Radial projection is just what it sounds like. It's going to radiate the toolpath from a center region out to the periphery of what the surfaces that you described. So in this case, if I were to show the surface that I machined, in this case just this bottom flat plane, I have a toolpath that is radiating from a center location. In this case, the center point was auto-detected. You can control your own center point, however, by unchecking auto and picking a location that you want to pick the toolpath to radiate from. These types of toolpaths will be used for areas of detail, maybe around areas of bosses or for a particular reason where you want a certain type of pattern of finishing on the floor. In this case, we'll set this back to auto-detect. You can control the effective range that it's going to radiate out to. So if you needed to stop it short, I could tell it to stop at, let's say, 1 inch and recalculate, and it will stop that calculation, the toolpath calculation, at a 1 inch radius. In this case here, I carried it all the way out to the outside, so I just made the value large, and it maximized it to the extent of this. Again, gouge checking is all independently controlled with all HSS toolpaths, and in this case here, I'll show I'm gouge checking against the entire model itself, so it's collision detecting against everything that's on this particular part. Spiral toolpaths are just like radial toolpaths, just with a spiral style routine. Same toolpath parameters apply. User-defined projection style toolpaths. User-defined projection toolpaths allow you to pick the surfaces that you want to cut on, as well as what you want to project onto those surfaces. So in this case here, I just selected this circle as my projection, and you can see how it's encompassing a large area, a large grouping of surfaces around that particular area. With this toolpath as well, I've got my collision checking turned on against the drive surfaces as well as all check surfaces. In the roughing and more tab, I deployed multiple depth cuts. So I told it to make 3 cuts at a 2,000th depth of cut. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put that circle onto those faces, and going back up to the Geometry tab with a 5/1000 offset. So I'm going to put a toolpath 5/1000 into the faces of these particular surfaces. If I were to bring this into my simulation, go into Solid Verify, and play this, it's projecting that circle onto those surfaces. So you can use this for a lot of different reasons. Again, areas of detail, or perhaps engraving onto a part against three-dimensional surfaces. This would be a very good way of dealing with situations where you had to put something down manually onto a surface itself. Another style of projection routine is called offset projection. Now, in this case here, I just took the surfaces I told it that I wanted to machine are all these selected here in the dark blue, so just this area and region of detail. The projection curve is this lower curve, so I defined a lower curve, and from here I told it that I wanted to start to offset to the right side a certain number of cuts. And what this will do then is it will walk that tool up those surfaces. And in this case, I'm kind of using this more for like a corner finishing style routine, where I'm walking it up those surfaces by a predetermined amount of direction as well as number of steps. So if I wanted to pick out an area again of detail for finishing for a particular reason. Thank you for watching this video on HSS Full. I hope to see you again in the next video.